My fellow Americans, we are living in an unprecedented time where a man who wants to be king is sitting in the Oval Office, signing executive order after executive order to take Americans' rights that are guaranteed by the Constitution away. A man who has surrounded himself with rich oligarchs, taking all high-ranking officials out of their positions and filling them with yes men, taking and destroying agencies that American people rely on, taking and withholding federal aid from states that need it just because they don't want to follow what he says, because it's unconstitutional, threatening states with withholding federal aid, and doing so because they don't agree with what he says. What we're dealing with here, people, is no doubt a fascist dictator. Why do you think he idolizes Putin? Because he wants to be Putin. He wants to have a whole nation do exactly as he says whenever he says it, because he wants to be king. He wants that, and you are letting him do so. You who voted him in. You who agree with what he says, undoubtedly, even though you know in your heart of hearts that it's wrong, unconstitutional, and complete and utter bullshit. He's letting a billionaire. Yeah, I know y'all say he doesn't want your money, but let me tell you something. He does, in fact. You know those contracts that he has with the government? That's your taxpayer dollars. That's your money. How about you think for a second before you open your mouth? Take a look at all the evidence. He is alienating our closest allies, who we have been allies with forever. Not only are they our allies, they are our neighbors, our closest neighbors at that. He's pulling us out of NATO because NATO stands against dictators. NATO stands against everything he's believing in, trying to make this country. He is trying to take land that isn't his by trying to say he's going to annex Greenland and annex fucking Canada. That's a dictator. That's a fascist dictator. That's what that is. Taking land that isn't yours. Trying to silence everybody who doesn't agree with you. Taking away your citizens' rights. That's all leading to one thing, and one thing alone. Now is the time that we need to cast off our differences, ignore our differences, ignore the fact that we all live different lives, we all see things differently, to band together, to take this dictator and his rich oligarchs out of the government, where they do not belong. Because if you think that any of these rich assholes has even an inkling of what's good to you, for you, you're wrong. We're starting to see this more and more. Every order he passes, everything he does, every conference he has, or they have, everything that they do points in one direction. I don't understand how people are having a hard time seeing this. I don't understand how people can still agree with him and say they believe in the Constitution. They say they believe in this country. You're not. If you stand with Trump, you stand against the Constitution. You stand against America and for everything that America has stood for for over the 200 plus years that we have been a power. You stand against everything our founding fathers stood for. You stand against everything that this country was founded on. You stand against America when you stand with Trump and his rich oligarchs. You stand against the American people when you stand with Trump and his rich oligarchs. There is so much that we can do right now, but we are quickly running out of time. Quickly. We need our Congress members to stand up for what's best for us, what we need. We need American citizens to stand up and say no. We need to band together, because the only way that we are going to make it through this and do what needs to be done is if we stand together. Because together we are strong. Divided, we are weak. And that's what they want. They want us divided. They want us weak, so we are easier to control. Look at what happened, the political climate in Germany before Adolf took over. Look at the political climate in Russia before Putin took over. Look at all civilizations that have fallen to a fascist dictator. Look at their political environment. Look at their people before the dictator took over. It all follows the same trend. It all is the exact same message. Violate human rights, alienate allies, follow bigger, more successful dictators, and take us off the world stage. That is literally how everybody who has taken power for themselves has done it. And Trump is doing it now. Him and his rich oligarchs don't give a fuck about you. They don't care what you need. They don't care about this country. They only care about themselves and what they can get from it. They are never going to care about you, ever. They are never going to do what's best for you. So it's time for you to stand up and do what's best for you and this country. Because there's only one way out of this. We all have to band together. We all have to stick together. We cannot let them come between us. We cannot let them win here. We cannot afford it.